Ben, how's it going today? So, today's topic Monday Mindset Reset. Today, we're going to be talking about this topic this topic called being coachable. I remember, and it's so funny that I would be coaching people now when just a few years ago, I was probably one of the most uncoachable people that I know. And so I was like, this is probably going to be a great topic to even start off this whole coaching business model is to talk about being coachable because and I want to share the story about this guy. He's my personal trainer. He was one of the best personal trainers. Like what drew me to him is I'm looking at him transform people's lives, their bodies, and they're coming out with great results. And so my mindset was like, well, I need this type of coach because if he's doing it for them, he can do it for me. Nah, it didn't. It didn't happen that way because what they had and what I didn't have that coachable skill in order to help me grow like they were growing. And so so Kenny G, if you're listening to this, I just want you to know that I apologize for probably being one of the worst clients that you had. But I also wanted to use that as an opportunity to help somebody else because and I'll actually share the story. So my coach, I just said his name was we have the same name, but he was helping my nephew get ready to go to the Air Force. And so because he had all the skills to train and he knew how to work different body parts and he's a great coach, right? And I decided to partner up with my nephew to kind of strengthen him, to help him with the process to go through it. And so my nephew is getting these great results. And I think we were there twice a week for a few months. And so he started getting on me. He was like, man, you're not getting the results that I'm expecting. He was like, look over here and look at you. And instead of me just looking at that and saying, you know what, you're right. I'm not getting, I'm not doing what I'm doing what you're saying while I'm here. But when I leave, I'm not doing that. I'm not changing my diet. I'm not doing anything to support the work that you're trying to do through me because his job is to help you transform, but he couldn't make me transform. So at that point in time, I wasn't very coachable. So for anybody who's looking to transform their lives, that's probably the number one thing that you have to be looking towards growing in. Like, I want to be mentored. I want to be led into a place where I'm getting better because the only thing that's going to happen is you're going to see the people around you growing, and you're going to look at yourself and say, man, why am I not being able to do that? So my three things that I messed up with, and three things and some of the things I want to share about this story. By the way, my nephew ended up getting trained up to go to the Air Force. He did a great job, lost maybe 40 pounds, was in great shape. And he ended up going to the Air Force and he's still in the Air Force and he's doing pretty good. So once again, thank you, Kenny G, for that. But going back to this part of the things that I lacked, I just wrote some of the things down. Probably the number one thing I lacked was my motivation for change. You know, I don't know what it was, but I paid this guy for this service, and I thought that the service was going to transform me. But really, it should have started with me and my motivation for wanting to change, for recognizing where I'm at was not where I want to be. It kind of reminds me of the scripture in the Bible where it's in John chapter 3, where Jesus is talking about how people love the dark and they hate the light. So every week when we go and jump on the scale or he'll do some type of physical assessment of me, it kind of like I didn't like that part because I knew that now is the time. This is going to tell the truth. That scale is going to tell on me. So I never liked that part. I never liked coming to the light. But I just can't. I just want to think back, like how much better could I have been had I been walking in the light the whole time? Had I been doing what I was supposed to do when I wasn't in His presence? I would have loved the light. I would have loved to come get on that scale to show Him, like I'm doing the work. I'm doing what you call me to do, so that I can be transformed and become the person that I say I wanted to be. So my mindset was now aligning up with my goals. And so if you're a part of this, if you're a part of what we're doing here, then your mindset has to be aligning up with where you want to go. And my goal here is simply to help transform me into becoming what you want to become, to free you from those things that are keeping you currently stuck and not moving forward. And that can be a variety of different things. And so there's no need to break that down right now. But the goal is these areas that you need to be coached in has to be that personal investment of I want to change and I'm willing to listen in order to do that. As a matter of fact, without even telling most of the guys that I coach now, most of them start off with pen and paper. As I'm speaking, I've never told one person, hey, you need to start taking notes. All of them come with the mindset of whatever he's saying has something to do with while I'm here. So they're already primed to get what they want to, they're already invested personally in their own personal growth. And so that's what I love about a lot of the guys who come into, the ones that I'm leading now. And that's what I look forward to. And that's what I look for in new guys coming. Are they taking to heart what's being said? And are they using it to help them? Because no matter what I've said to you, it can't change you unless you allow it to have an effect on your life. And so, yeah, motivation was a big issue for me. Second thing that was going on with me was although I paid him money, I was way too prideful, and it was because I had came from the military. I knew what I needed to do in order to get my body back in shape. But at that point in time in my life, I needed help. I needed someone to walk alongside of me. And it was like I was too prideful to kind of admit that. And I was just in that space where I need you, but I still feel like I can do it without you, but I still need you. And that's all just I mean, like if I just would have humbled myself in that season, how much better could I have been? And is this your season to be humbled, to walk into a space of humility so that the changes that you're looking for, because the result is going to happen. If you follow the steps, the results is going to happen. Now, the question is, are you willing to follow the steps? Are you willing to say, look, I want to see this, I want to see this relationship change in my life. I want to see these things happen. I want to see myself go further. And it really depends on you and what you're willing to submit yourself to, as far as how quickly you want to get there. If you want to drag your feet, then it's going to happen. As long as you're dragging your feet, change can't happen, or it's going to happen a lot slower than you want to. And you're going to be looking to your left and right and seeing your other brothers in the caves, and just say, man, they're progressing. And the whole goal is that we all progress and we all buy into what's being taught so that we can grow a lot faster, right? So we gotta get make sure our motivation is in the right place, make sure that our pride is in check. And just because you've done it before doesn't mean that you're doing it now. And it's okay to say I need help to get to this other step or phase. And if you're part of our Facebook group, you already know that that's one of the three questions when you first sign up. Do you realize that there's something that needs to be changed? Because without that realization, there's no way you can take part in any type of change because you don't recognize that there's anything wrong, right? And it isn't to say that something's wrong, that that's a bad thing. It's just that if you want to be great, you need counselors. Kings have counselors, presidents have counselors, they have cabinets, they have advisors. And to me, you're deciding right now that you want to be better than what you were before. You want to go further. So that's, to me, lowering that pride so that you can hear different opinions and all these different things to help you grow is what really helps. What really would have helped me then, and which I learned since then. And of course, and I've had great coaches after Kenny, but I've also found that it took me to go through this process to get there. And so the number three is simply I lacked common sense. I lacked common sense because I invested my time and my money into something that was not lining up with what I was willing to submit myself to. So this process of you growing is really you taking into account that common sense. I'm going to need to submit myself to the changes that I want to see happen within me. And change is not easy for most of us. And it's going to be uncomfortable and it's going to be requiring me to do things differently than what I've done before. And so that's what I love about, seeing people grow and seeing them willingness to buy in, because if you buy into what's being shared with you, you're going to have growth. And you're going to struggle if you don't buy into it. And it's going to be just this hard time where you're looking at life saying, this isn't what I want, but I'm not willing to give this up and have something different. And so, as your coach, as a coach of men, my goal is to help us all get better. And part of that process is me sharing my failures and things that I would not do again, because I don't want to see people repeat a lot of stuff that I repeated, because you'll be wasting your money and your time. And money you can get back, but time, you can't. So let's start this 2023 season off with us just having that different mindset. Be coachable in 2023. You can contact us. You can if you want to be a part of our Facebook group, you can join us, Caves of Men. Find us on Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, which you're looking at now, and or at YouTube at Caves of Men Solutions. You can email us at cave solution at Gmail, or you can just reach out to us. So we're trying to grow this. We're trying to look for men who are looking to change, because when men change, things change. All right. So this Ken with Caves and Men. I look forward to hearing from you. Bye.